with Alt, select this part, and I will bevel this with Control B, and maybe also this part, this one here, and maybe this one. Okay, and if you want to change this in edit mode, just be sure that you are in X-ray mode, so you can select all this, and you can also move this to about here, and you can also rotate this if you want. You can select this edge here with Alt and press SZ0 to line up this. And you can also scale this. And you can expand selection with Control lampad+. Okay, and we need to move this on y-axis, so I will go with numpad 7. And let's place this to about here. And also let's connect this with on this reference. So I will go to edit mode, and I will add one loop cut here and go with Control B, and one here, Control B. And let's now select this face here and this one here, and now we can go with E to extrude and X for X axis. And here we can go with shade smooth and with auto smooth. And let's now add simple bulb here, so I will go with Shift A, and I will go with maybe icosphere and numpad 7, just set this to position, and press S to scale, and numpad 1 to front orthographic view, and let's place this to about here. And I will scale this on the axis maybe a little. And now I will add emission material here, so I can shade smooth this, and I can add emission white material, and I will now select this emission here and maybe straight to 10, and I will keep white color here. So if we go to render preview, we can see that this light is turned on. Maybe I can increase this to 20. And I will also select both part, and I will go with Ctrl J to join this. But now I think if we go to render preview, all this is emission material. So I will create another material. I will select this and I will create metal material, not just metal, and I will in viewport display change color to something like blue, so we can see that this is metal, this is emission material, and I will also here add this metal material. So now we can go to edit mode, and we can press L over this part. We can assign this metal material. So now this is emission, this is metal, and let's go with select both part and go with Ctrl J to join this to one object. And let's now play with this metal material. So this is just viewport display, and let's go to material view. So you can see that we have only white color here, and now I will go to shading tab. In this layout tab we are in local view, so if you press numpad/key we go out from local view, but when we switch to shading tab, we also need to go to local view. So press numpad/key to bring this object here. And now we can work with metal material here. I will also use concrete texture we used before, so I will go here with Shift A, image texture, and I will search for concrete. So we can plug this here, and let's see how this looks. So we need unwrap this, so I will go to edit mode, press A to select all, and U, maybe smart UV project, or UQ projection. Okay, I think this looks a little better. With I can go with color ramp, and we can plug this to color ramp and to roughness. So we can choose how much we want shiny parts here. So if you increase blacks, you get more shiny parts. If you increase whites, you get more rough parts. So I don't want completely shiny and completely rough, so I will bring this to about here. And we can try also plug this to metallic. So if you move this metallic all to 1, our object is completely metal. But if you want, you can also go with duplicate this color ramp, and you can choose which part you want to be metal, which part is not metal. So we can plug this to metallic. So white part will be metal and this black part will be not metal. So if you want more metal, you can just increase these white parts like this. And we can also go with bump. So we can add small value bump here. Okay, and now we can also play with color. So I will go with mix RGB. I can mix this concrete texture with another color here. So if you want, make this more like brownish. Maybe we can try with multiply blending mode. I think this is pretty good for that what we need. So I will go to layout, and I will not use this only this emission object for lighting, because it will not be visible in render. You can see that this strong orange light here. So I will back to solid view, and I will go with Shift A, light and area lamp, and I will go with numpad 7, and I will bring this to about here, and I will press S to scale this down, and with numpad 1 move this to about here. And I will increase this light to maybe 800, which is maybe too much for now, but later in volumetric atmosphere it will not be too much visible. And I will add here maybe orange color. So we can now go to render preview to see how this looks. And let's now select these two objects, and I will now with numpad/key back to our scene, and I will go with RZ90 to rotate this on the axis. No, first back to bounding box center, and now RZ90. Okay, just type 2 times RZ90 or RZ180, and let's bring this to about here. And before I start duplicate this, I want to make this in collection, so we can later easily select all these lamps. So I will press M and I will call this street lamps. So now we can see that this is in this street lamp collection, and we can now select these two objects and we can go with Alt D and move this on y-axis to about here. And now to repeat this last step, just go with Shift R and duplicate this all time. If you think that they are too close, you can always select all these objects here and you can go with SY to scale this on y-axis. So you can now make more space between them if you want. And let's now go with F12 to make one test render. Here is few renders with these street lamps.